Alright, Shalom, Shalom. It's your brother AHBAD from GMS YAHAWAH, GMS in Petersburg, Florida. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHIM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHIM, BABAL, double honors to my elder apostles, a great millstone who rule well. Seek the honor salutation to all you sincere brothers as constantly pushing word and true sincerity in the four corners of the earth. Peace and blessings also be to all the sincere men, women, and children who are the 1/3, who are also members of the body YAHAWASHI. And peace and blessings also be to all the confusion and faces out there in the four corners of the earth. Shalom, peace and blessings be unto you all. As you can see right here, I was doing a little research on the news and everything, and I kind of find out that DJ Trump is trying to take it upon himself to still build his wall. Even though I believe, most of it is rhetoric. Most of it is a devised plan to take away from what's really happening, meaning that America's economy has already been falling. I mean, years back, a bunch of countries dumping the dollar. They've been resorting over to the gold. All right, America's been in debt. They haven't paid back the money that they owe, which is why 9/11 also happened with Osama bin Laden and his family. Since the 70s, they've been getting money from them. And then also looking at how China also owns some lands over here in America. So there's a lot of things going on behind the closed curtains that the average American is not aware of. But the man of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, we understand what's really going on. So we're not ignorant to Satan's devices, these devised plans. But nonetheless, though, I'm not going to go that's neither here nor there right now, but I'm not going to go into that. I'm going to go into this article. It says, exclusive, White House preparing draft national emergency order has identified $7 billion for the wall. All right, now with that being said, I'm going to go into what they're speaking about pertaining to this draft national emergency order. All right, it's not talking about the military draft. It's talking about, in other words, DJ Trump trying to use his executive power to bypass the Congress. Okay, it says right here. This is where I'm reading from. The White House is preparing a draft proclamation for President Donald Trump to declare a national emergency along the southern border and has identified more than $7 billion in potential funds for his signature border wall should he go that route, according to internal documents reviewed by CNN. So in other words, he shut down the government already because he wanted to get the funds to build his wall. All right, which has been all the craze lately for the past 4 weeks, and maybe going to 5 weeks, where you have federal government workers who are furloughed, federal government workers who have been going to work, working for free. In other words, being a slave, which our people have been for centuries here on out, but it's neither here nor there right now. So now, here it is, because they want this wall to be built, which me personally, I believe the reason why the government is being shut down, because America is so much debt. They're like $200 trillion in debt. They have to find a reason for the economy to constantly, decline economically. Shutting down the government. You can't give out any loans to any small. Listen, America gets rich off of the money you spend. Okay, the more money you spend, the more dollars they can tax. But the worst thing you could do is tax a dollar. Because if I go into the store with $1 and I see something on the sign that says that this is actually 99 cents, and let's say that there's a let's say that's a point. Let's say that's a 7% tax on every dollar. If I go into the store and something's 99 cents, when I ring it up at the cash register, it's gonna say $1.06. So I need 7 more cents from another dollar, all right, to actually purchase that product. So that means that every dollar in my pocket will really have the value of 93 cents. All right, so that means that that's the inflation of the dollar. I mean, granted, when you buy like fruit and everything, they don't tax you on that. But a lot of consumers spend more money on technology and things that are actually made. It's neither here nor there, but let me get to the point of this matter in this article. It says Trump has not ruled out using his authority to declare a national emergency and direct the Defense Department to construct a border wall as Congress and the White House fight over a deal to end the government shutdown. Remember this, the Congress and the White House, they're bickering with one another. They're fighting with one another. They're debating with one another. All right, that's a house. So like that's a house divided. Understand that. But while Trump's advisors remain divided, remember that word. Remember this word right here, brothers and sisters. Divided on the issue, the White House has been moving forward with alternative plans that will bypass Congress. In other words, fuck you is what he basically saying. I'm going to try and find a way that I can use my executive order to bypass this ordeal that's pursuing right now in the making. All right. Now let's go into this. I will do a little info. This is what a draft proclamation. I'm basically what I looked up is a draft proclamation and executive order. All right, this is what came up. It says Congress may also retroactively repeal the statutory authority in which the president based his executive order or proclamation, so they can appeal it. This would render any executive order or proclamation issued after the date established by Congress invalid. But they also said in this article, where is that? I think they said, okay, when you read on down, I'm sorry, forgive me, I kind of went a little ahead of the article, but right here it says the draft was updated as recently as last week, so it was updated. So who knows what they put inside that article or inside this act right here. This is the act right here to see whether or not they can progress with this proclamation of the president. All right. So I went into right here the power of an executive organ. Says Congress. The Congress consists of the House and the Senate. Okay. Congress has the power to overturn an executive order, and executive orders come from the president. You have the president, the vice president, you have the speaker of the House. Okay, the speaker of the House is the third in succession to the president. By passing legislation that invalidates it. Okay, so they have that power. In the case of the former, the president retains the power to veto such a decision. So let's say that they actually want to overturn his executive order. So guess what he can do? He can veto that. But check this out. However, the Congress may override a veto with a 2/3 majority to end an executive order. So that goes to show you that the president really doesn't have any power if the Congress wants to veto it. So they're saying when they say that there's power to the people, there's no power to the people. The power goes to the Congress. And right now the Congress is basically bickering and arguing with the White House and the President of the United States of America. So I want to break out this precept. This is Mark chapter 3, verse 23. And he called he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast against Satan? We know the word Satan means enemy. All right. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand. And this is where we at right now in America. As you can see, it's starting to become crippled with this government shutdown, especially with the people. All right. The people are suffering financially and spiritually and morally, man, and mentally. And if a house be divided against itself, that house cannot stand. Notice that we're a house. Does not the Congress consist of the House of Representatives and the Senate? That's spiritual, man. Understand that. And if Satan rise up against himself, wow, the enemy rises up against himself, because who is our enemy? We know our enemy is Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, woman, and child. All right, because they know that we are the Hebrew Israelite. When I say they, I mean the elite, not these everyday Edomites that you stand behind in the line in Walmart or Publix or in the whole food store. They don't know what's going on. If they do, they have no powers to even overturn anything. We're talking about the men of the Boule Society, the Skull and Bone, those who are parts of the right. I want to say, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my gosh, it's escaping my mind right now. Nonetheless, though, those are the part of the Illuminati. So like the Illuminati. Exactly. And the Freemasons. Okay? So let me go back. Mark 3 and 26. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. Okay? So they're going to show you that this is really the end of America. This is really the end of the mystery whore Babylon. And you can look up this article for yourself on CNN. I'm not going to go too much more into it, but I am going to pull out a precept real quick. Salakia. I didn't mean to go that far up. Okay, like it right here, as it says, exclusive. White House preparing draft national emergency order has identified $7 billion for wall, and it even goes into saying that they were going to take. Matter of fact, let me put it up real quick. Saying that they were going to take money from other departments of the government to actually try to pursue this wall. Right here, bear with me real quick. It says, according to options being considered, the administration could pull $681 million from Treasury forfeiture funds, $3.6 billion in military construction, $3 billion in Pentagon civil works funds, and $200 million in Department of Homeland Security funds. Okay, so they're talking about taking money from other departments, other branches of the government, just so that they can make this wall, man. There's no unity here. There's no unison, man. Which is why the men of the Lord, YAHAWASHI, we don't put our trust in this government. You people do. You peons do, man. You serfs do. Okay? You don't mind being a slave or being a servant to this society, man. And guess what? That's a curse unto you because you don't trust in YAHAWASHI. This is Jeremiah chapter 17. Verse 5, it says, thus saith the Lord. And when you see Lord all capital letters in the Bible, that's Yahawah. That's his name. The tetragrammaton YHWH. His name is Yahawah. Thus saith Yahawah, cursed be the man that trusteth in man. All right? And maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departed from Yahawah. All right, and when they make flesh his arm, man, that you trust in the carnal things like a bulletproof vest, all right, your 12-gauge shotgun, your 9mm, okay, your tactical gear. That's trusting in the flesh, trusting in your arms. Do not they have something called firearms, or do you have the right to bear arms, right? But I'm gonna get back to the point. Jeremiah 17:5. Thus saith Yahawah, cursed be the man that trusted in man. That's what happened in society. People were so complacent. They was, so forward on trusting in the government. Now the government has said, F you, I want this to happen. And it's not really about that wall, man. It's about trying to start a new world order. All right, trying to microchip everyone that's living on the earth, man. So what they want to do, they want to default on the economy in America, because if you default an economy in America, all the other countries, man, they got to default with it as well. Because America is the merchant city, man. Everyone comes to America to sell and to buy. That's it, man. America is one big mall, all right? But this is for the elect. Listen to this. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 7. It says, blessed is the man that trusteth in Yahawah, and whose hope Yahawah is. All right, understand that? So they go to show you, man, that we trust in the Lord, man. We don't trust in the society, man. We know the society is going to fall. All right. It pertains to prophecy, and we are the prophets of the Lord, which is why we put these videos up and go on the highways and byways to proclaim to you the future and the things that are to come through the Spirit. All right. Now I got one more precept, but I'm going to close out. Bear with me. Where am I? Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 33, verse 22. For the Lord is our judge. The Lord is our lawgiver. The Lord is our king. He will save us, man. All right? And that's only for the elect in the house of Israel, you so-called Negro Latinos and Native Americans who are under the law of faith, who do believe that you shall be saved via what they call UFOs, what we call chariots of the Lord, out of this destruction to come. Nonetheless, though, through much tribulation is the kingdom of heaven. That being said, shalom, peace and blessings to Israel.